Hello and welcome to Giant Mess, a sloppy sports and entertainment talk show hosted by Giant Mess. That's me, the real cinch, Neal Lynch. This show covers everything from the New York Giants and the New York Mets, to movies, TV, comedy, and a whole lot more. Who am I? I'm an Irish Italian American who graduated from a Catholic high school but is not Catholic. And then I went to an overpriced college that offers overpriced degrees. And they're also known for producing doctors and lacrosse players. And then I was like, you know what? I hate money and I hate hooking up. Instead, I like to tell stories. And I tend to ramble. So buckle up. You can leave a voicemail at 862-248-1986. That's 862-248-1986. That's the last year. That's the last year that your New York Football Giants and your New York Baseball Mets won a world championship in the same year. And I gotta tell you folks, I might have to update that phone number to 862-248-2022. Yeah, that's how high I'm fucking flying right now. And you can talk about literally anything on that thing. Subscribe to Giant Mess on YouTube. It's like youtube.com/Neal Lynch or Real Cinch or Giant Mess, one of those three. Follow me on the official blog. It's neallynch.com. You can follow me on the Giant Mess Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Giant Mess. Real Cinch on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, we're available. We are so available on all the platforms that host podcasts. On today's episode, on this week's episode, we're going to talk about the lengths I went to for this date night that I had on Saturday. It was a date day that turned into a night to turn into a late night. And before your mind starts racing, I can hear it racing. Settle down. So we'll talk about that. It was a long date, and it was a strong date. You do the math. It was also kind of a costly date. Not gonna lie. Don't know if I can do that every time out the gate. So without further ado, let's get it on. Ooh. Let's get it on. All right. So I had a date. I had another date. Can you believe it? This is a record, folks. It was a first date, but not my first date. Since the D, it's the second date for all those scoring at home on the date counter. If you got that up and running yet. Have you got it up and running yet? No, you don't have the batteries? Oh, it's okay. I'll keep you up to date. Second date total. First date was okay. And it's already over, that relationship. You know, it's kind of a situation where I don't want to make any excuses. Nice gal. I said as much. I said, you're a good person. We had a good time. But I don't, I'm looking at my crystal ball. And true, granted, hand up, I admit, crystal ball not really working so well. So maybe I just lost my soulmate. I don't know. And honestly, it's just like whatever at this point. I've read so much about my personality and how I'm just a loner, Dottie, a rebel, It's just like everything that I've looked up and researched. It's like you're an individual. You like to be alone and you're going to die alone. And you don't mind being alone. And it's just like, yeah, I guess. Why am I fighting? Why do I keep fighting this feeling? I can't fight this feeling anymore. Like, let me just go up in my little hermit shell crab and get all cozy. Pop on some Netflix and just veg, dude. Why do I have to get out there and try and find another person to disappoint? You know what I mean? But no, it was... I think, the concern for a lot of my friends and family is that like, hey, buddy, you kind of moved a little quick with the whole engagement and the marriage and the baby. My friends constantly remind me, it's like, hey, me and so-and-so, my significant other, my partner, we were together for years before we even got engaged. And I'm going to say years before we got married. It's just like, all right, I get it. But, I also had all this gibberish in my head about if you want something, you go get it. You see something, you go get it. Take control, take the reins, right? Why waste your time? If you know, right? And I thought I knew, and it turns out I don't know shit. So now this date I was a little more excited for. It's kind of a friends hooking friends up with other friends type of situation. Like friends of friends. Hey, heard you're back in the pool. You're gonna dip in the pool. I know someone who's also in that pool. Have you been in the deep end yet? So, and it was almost too much hype. There was a lot. I feel like the pressure was kind of mounting because it was like, this one, it's almost like a boxing match, like I'm in one corner, she's in the other corner, and I got my friends chirping in my ears like, okay, this is watch her left hand. She likes to jab, and then she comes with the cross and the uppercut, and she's in her corner, and her friends are saying, singing my praises, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't sing my praises. Don't sing my praises. And by the way, how do you sing my praises? Very curious about that because I don't really get praise a lot. So to sing it is like double platinum, exclusivo. So there's a lot of pressure and hype coming into this because it's like this person's telling you all these great things about this person tells you about this great thing. And there has to be a part of us that are like, okay, well, we're both in this interesting situation. So let's not get out of hand here. But she's not local, and I'm not local to anything. I think like the dating pool in the Princeton area is shallow. It's not even ankle deep. I'm gonna say it's like a puddle, more of a puddle. If I had to say anything, more like a leak or like a spill. Fuck. I spilled some dating down there. Gotta wipe it up. But yeah, it's so I'm gonna have to travel if I want, and I don't mind traveling, and even like on the apps, it's like they say like, how many miles away, and I'm like, I max it out. Because it's like, why shut the door on that? I got an open mind. My buddy got on me for that. He's like, you can't be open-minded about this anymore. And I'm like, okay, go on. And he's like, well, you can't be that open-minded because the women that you're dating now, you're 41. They're in their mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s. Like, I don't think they're as much into hookup culture as the young 30s or like late 20s or mid-20s, early 20s. And I was like, well, first and foremost, I don't think I could actually hang out with a 21-year-old. Like, I don't think that's street legal. And so I'm not, I've kind of ruled out anyone in their 20s because it's like I knew what I was, who I was in my 20s, like what I was in my 20s, just a fucking animal, savage beast, undomesticated, untamed, and untethered. So it's like I can only imagine what, and it's that same buddy was telling me about. He's got his wife's friends who are single down there that are a little bit on the younger side. Like they don't actually want a boyfriend. They actually just want a friend with benefits, and like the guys are too lazy to to comply. They're just like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, so it's pretty much just for them. It's just like, I'm going to text you at 2 a.m. when the bar is closed. I'm going to text you when the bar is closed, or a little bit after when I get back and I realize like, hey, see if the downstairs parts work. And then it's that. And then it's going to get to the point where like 10, 20 years from now, people in their 20s are going to be like, why can't I just find a guy who drunk dials me at 3 a.m? It's like we're having issues with friends with benefits now. Like finding those are tough to come by. Yikes. So I don't know if I could handle. I just don't think I could barely handle hanging out with like young, early 30s, like people who are just turning 30. It's just like, oh, look at you. You don't have a fucking idea about the freight train that's about to hit you right in the goddamn grill, huh? And I'll get to that because that ran through my mind during this date night. But this young lady, you're not supposed to talk about a lady's age. So I'll just say, you do the math. If I'm on a date with this woman and I just told you about women in their 20s, you do the math. So I decided I would come closer to her because it's like, there's like around here, Counting Crows, what's up? How you doing? Come on in. Yeah, no, just recording a pod. There's just really like, I'm trying to think about date things that you can do in the Princeton area. And it's just like if it were the summer during minor league baseball, maybe a Thunder game. If it's like right now in the fall, which happy first day of fall to all those who celebrate. We salute you. Princeton University football game, maybe, because Princeton University campus is fairly nice. I like it. It's beautiful. The people are a whole nother shebang. But again, me and people, we don't mix. Highly volatile. So I went in, I suggested a couple places over text, and she was like, this looks cute. I was like, sweet. An Irish pub on East Side. So, for me, it took me like 2+ hours to get there. Fucking Saturday. But So I had to prepare, right? Because I had been told repeatedly, hey, you look like a fucking disaster. There's no plain, easy way, polite way to say it. Look like a disaster. You need to clean it up. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna clean it up. Like, there's a lot of hype and pressure on this. I'm as excited as I can be without like going overboard. And I think if 31-year-old me goes on this date, it turns out very differently. But I think, maturity has to set in at some point, right? It's just like sometimes it just takes longer for some than others. But I was like, I need to clean it up. And so if you're watching the video, you'll notice like I got a haircut and a hot shave. But before that, even though I was told like, hey, don't think it's going to go down this road. Okay. But even with that knowledge, I was like, all right, I still want to feel good. I want to look good and I want to feel good. And when you feel good, you look good. When you look good, you feel good. So I was like, I need that. I want that. I guess what would be like a version of BDE. So I decided to get my back waxed. Yeah. All right. It's like for the people who don't grow hair everywhere, it's hard for them to wrap their heads around the level of fucking maintenance you have to put into the shit. It's not fair. I'll just put that out there. It's not fair. And I understand there's a lot of people out there suffering, and my hearts go out to them. Thoughts and prayers. The level of hair is everywhere. Your hair is everywhere. Yep. I know. Thank you. I wish I knew the name of that band because they just came in here and it's kind of awkward. And they just started singing and it's like, oh, dude, you can sit next to Counting Crows. So yeah, I needed a back wax. I needed to do it because I'm not married anymore, flying solo, and can't really shave it myself. People are already like grossed out. I can hear you barfing. Cool. But gotta tell you, it's something that has to happen. People don't want to talk about it. By the way, this fucking cricket, dude. Can you guys hear this cricket like I can? It's like literally on my windowsill. It's a cricket, right? It's a cricket? Has to be. And it's weird because I forgot to tell you guys, I watched the new Pinocchio with Brie the last time I had her over the weekend. And it's like live action, but with CGI, like all the humans are real live action. And then all the other animals are like CGI characters. I legit think Jiminy Cricket is like fucking, because I didn't have any crickets before this fucking movie. And now I get crickets outside my window telling me like, hey, don't do that. Like trying to be my conscience. And it's like, Jiminy, you don't know me, dude. You don't know me. Okay. Where were you first 40 years? Where were you when I proposed? Huh? Where were you? So apologies if you can hear that fucking cricket. It was driving me. I almost lost my mind trying to work today. I was like, because I have titness. I got that titness, the tinnitus, which is just this loud, piercing, wailing sound in my ears at all times. And that's why I need like noise and volume at all times. Because if I don't, I hear that. And then this cricket decided to pipe up today. This cricket has been going at it all day. All freaking day, dude. Like, take a break, man. Take a break, my man. What are you going for the record? So, yeah, apologies if you hear the cricket. I don't know how to like terminate it. I don't know how to do that, but it just won't go away. Jiminy Cricket, dude. I mean, I don't know. Am I turning into a real boy? You tell me. I can't lie, so that makes sense. Maybe I am Pinocchio. Anyway, what a weird fucking story Pinocchio is. Can we talk about that for a second? Old man makes a wooden boy, and the assumption there is his wife died and the little boy died. Like there's some serious undertones of tragedy with Geppetto, dude. And he's just like all he wants. And weirdly enough, he just wants the little boy. Like no talk about like, hey, I'm going to make a wooden wife. And then maybe that wooden wife will become a real wife. And then we can get back to action. You know what I'm saying? Because this wooden fleshlight ain't cutting it. Oh boy. We're off to a hot start. Yeah. So Pinocchio's fucking weird, dude. Like I was watching, I was like, I kept forgetting because I haven't watched Pinocchio, the animated movie, in forever. It has to be 3 decades plus. And so I forget about all the like traumatizing, terrifying shit that it's in Pinocchio. The Pleasure Island sequence, that just whole sequence is just like nightmare fuel, dude. They turn into fucking donkeys. I mean, I feel like, Sorry to Bother You. I don't know if you remember that movie from a few years back with, what is his name? He's on Atlanta. And yeah, I love him too. Lathan. And of course, The Cannibal, allegedly, Armie Hammer, where, spoiler alert, I don't know, has it been enough time? It's only been 3 years. Anyway, I can't spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, but very similar to what happens in Pleasure Island. Okay. So yeah, to this day, even watching it like at 41, I was just like, I'm gonna I'm gonna whoa, dude. Time to book, schedule a little therapy sesh. So I can only imagine what was going through Bree's head. My only hope is that she did say, this is scary. And I was like, yeah, preaching, girl. Preaching to the choir. And also there was the weird scene with the whale, but it wasn't a whale because apparently there must have been some kind of, because in the original animated one, it's they get eaten by a whale or yeah, right? And in this one, they made it a point, no, that is not a whale. So I'm thinking they must have got me by the short and curlies, which y'all get to. But yeah, I guess they got sued by Moby Dick. I don't know. The whale community, the ACLW, Center for Whales, Rights for Whales. I don't know. Because it was oh, that's Monstro. It's not a whale, but it kind of looks like a whale, but it's not a whale. It's okay, got it. Thanks. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, back wax. Back wax had to be done. Even though odds of that ever being seen by anyone now that beach season is over, fairly low to no. And so it's been a while. This is my second back wax ever. Oh God, volcanic. You like that? You like how I just it comes up and then I give it more. I'm oh, you want some more, little guy? Here you go. So this is the second back wax ever. First one was either right around when I was getting married or right when we were about to go to Hawaii for a wedding. It was a big event coming up. Your shirt's going to be off, and I think the missus was I don't want to look at your back anymore and I don't want to shave your back anymore. So when you're solo, this is what you have to go through. I actually got a plastic handle type thing that you stick the razor, not the electric razor, handheld razor, whatever you call it, the fucking straight edge razor, the blades, so many blades. And you stick that in the little end, and then you can by yourself do that. And you could be 4 hours into it, and it's nope, missed a spot, because you can't see shit. And naring is out of the question unless I can come up with a way where I can use a fly paper situation, I put it on paper and then I can just pin it to the wall and then back into it. When you're alone, when you're not with anyone, you don't have any friends in the area, it's it's kind of screwed on the whole back maintenance situation. So I went and got a back wax, and I figured, yeah, I remember the first go round. I remember it sucked. And I remember I bled a lot, and I remember being I'm never going to do it again. But I thought to myself, come on, how bad can it be? It was exponentially worse than the first time, to the point where I've now sworn off back waxes for the rest of my life. And that is a promise. I don't know what it would take, what kind of offer I'd be willing to consider. I was going to say Kate Upton, she's taken. Take the hottest goddamn woman on this fucking planet. And she'll be you can have me. And I know this sounds chauvinistic, misogynistic, but this is how the male brain, just the dumb, straight male brain works. Not trying to make excuses, no excuses, play like a champion. But that's the kind of terms I think about. Monetarily, I don't even know if I would take $1 million, a cool $1 million. And why am I paying to go through this? You should be paying me with the amount of torture and pain I'm going through. But yeah, an attractive lady could be me and you every night, all night to the day you die, Croak City. And I'd be pass. Hey, pass. No offense, pass. Because it's the worst pain in my life. And I've broken my wrist. I've had numerous injuries, tore my ACL, tore my meniscus, damn near broke my ankle. Plenty of injuries to write home about. None of them compared to the excruciating level of torture that this fucking back wax was. And it was at Market Fair, this mall right down the street. And they had just opened. So it was the first customer. Not sure if that plays into it at all. But I go in, lay on the table. They don't really speak fluent English. English is a second language for them. It's fine with me. It's fine. As long as we can somehow communicate. That's all good and dandy. And she goes to work, and the wax is kind of hot. I'm ooh, okay. If you see the words hot wax, you hear the words hot wax, and then you feel the words hot wax. Those are 3 different things. Okay. Feel see and hear. You're I get it. It's hot. I get it. I've tasted something that's hot soup. I've touched a hot plate. I get it. And then it goes on your skin. And you're oh, fuck, that's hot. So hot. So, and then she gets to work. And I think it was supposed to be a 45-minute session or something like that, which was that's Has to be a crime. Has to be a crime. It's got to be against the law somewhere. But she was moving quick. And I think it was mostly aided by me squirming and wiggling and grunting. Like I was trying to bite my lip and I was trying to just not let it affect me and be like, go to my happy place, go to my happy place, go to my happy place. Like moment is zen, moment is zen, moment is zen. This is how you meditate. Boom, 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 boom. This is how you meditate. Couldn't do it. Not even a little bit. It was like towards the end of it, it was just me howling at the moon, dude. Moon wasn't even out, and I was howling. And the whole time, she's just ripping and ripping and ripping and ripping and like nonstop ripping. She may have taken a second to be like, okay? And I'd be like, no. She'd be like, okay, here we go. Like, well, I don't give a fuck what you say. You paid me. I got another appointment. So let's get this on the road. So and she just kept saying throughout the whole thing, you know, if you come back more often, it wouldn't hurt. If you come back more often, it wouldn't hurt. And I wish I could do the voice without it sounding horrible, but it's like, if you come back more often, it wouldn't hurt. Like, I can't do it. She's like, if you come every 4 to 5 weeks, it wouldn't hurt. And I was like, you know, the first 3 times you said that, I was like, that sounds like bullshit. But then the 4th time you said it was like, you know what? I think I'm coming around on this lady. So, you know, she gets done or whatever. She wanted to do like the back of my neck. And I'm like, get away from me. All right. I think the places where I can reach, that's not for you. Okay. Places that you cannot reach, that's for you. No more. So I think she kind of actually stopped short. She was supposed to do more. And I was just like, no. I mean, I literally almost got up in the middle of it and left. I almost was about to throw in the towel, tap out and be like, you got me. Okay. You got me. TKO. Thank you. By submission. I appreciate it. But I'm out of here. I'm never coming back. Remember, I got dressed and I go out to the front desk to pay. And the woman was like, how was it? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Not really, no. And she's like, oh, well, if you come back more often, you know, every 4 to 5 weeks. And I was like, yeah, you know, I hear that. It's so weird. You said that. I hear that like nonstop in the past 30 minutes. But no, I'm not ever going back. And yes, it is the best in terms of hair removal. I am still right now, baby soft back there. The softest I've ever been. A baby's bottom, a baby's booty back there. I'll never go back again. I'm sorry. It's just, I know it's, you know, you look good, you feel good. I get it. There's a limit. There's a line and they crossed it. I cannot do that every 4 to 5 weeks with the amount of money that is. And then what are the other options? It's like, you know, business idea, $1 billion business idea for all the lonely, sad dads out there and all the hairy bears who are like to hibernate and don't like to have friends or family or partners. Let's unite, form a union, first and foremost. Secondly, I'm going to open a shop, dude. How is it? We have back wax shop, got a electrolysis shop, you got the barber shop, you got all these little hair shops. You don't have like, oh, let me narrow your back for you. Let me just shave your back real quick. Like I can get a hot shave, and I did at the barbershop, but I can't get a hot back shave. Like, you know what I mean? How is this not a thing? So that's my business idea, $1 billion business idea. We're not going to wax you, dude. Don't worry about it. We're going to hot shave you or we're going to narrow you. Well, those are your 2 options, A or B. And it's going to be like, you got a 5 on you. You got $10. How about you buy me a 6er? Buy me a case. That literally is the idea for the shop. It's just like, maybe it's called Dudes Being Dudes. I don't know. It's like sports clips, but for your back. Do you get what I'm saying? It needs to happen because I don't want a back wax. And like I did the electrolysis. It's like $200 to $300 a pop. That was 2001. I can only imagine it's got to be like $500,000 per appointment now. So yeah, that's my idea. And I've submitted the papers and I'm waiting approval, but yeah, that's where I'm going. So after the back wax was done, I remember I walked out of that room and out of that mall into my car. There's no other way to put it. Like an abuse victim or like a victim of trauma. That was trauma. I don't care. It's not like the worst trauma, but it's like it qualifies. Yeah. It's like if you look at the very bottom of the list, it's like page 123. It's right there, right at the end. Back wax. When you haven't been in forever. And I was like slowly shuffling and like, whoa, what just happened? Like thinking about like all the things in my life and like, well, I don't know what to do anymore. I remember I got in my car and I just sat there in my car in the parking lot for like a good 15 to 20 minutes, just trying to collect myself, just trying to collect my brain just trying to think about, okay, what's my name? My name is Neal. Okay. I know that much. I think I live in the area. Like I was an amnesia victim. Like I had temporary amnesia. I was just trying to recollect and remember who I was and what I was doing. And like, it was kind of a wake up call. It was like, whoa, did I just have like an out of body experience? Like maybe I'm gay. It was just, my head was all over the place. I couldn't focus. I remember sitting there and being like, yeah, that's where I was like, I'm officially out. Thank you, but no, thank you. Went home, ate a sweet omelet, 3-egg omelet, and then it was about the time to get a haircut and a hot shave. Last haircut I got was at Sports Clips, I think, and they did a fairly good job. But it was like, this woman deserves better. My date deserves better. Have I ever met her? No. Have I ever actually talked to her in person? No. I talked to her once on the phone. We've been texting. That's it. I've seen maybe 2 pictures of her. But I was like, you know what? A lot riding on this date in terms of relationships, not just this relationship, but relationships with friends. When friends put their stamp of approval on something and they like, you can't let them down. I don't want to let them down. I don't want to disappoint. It's like disappointing one person. That's all right. It's going to happen. Disappointing a crew, a squad. No, dude, can't do that. So yeah, I got the haircut and the hot shave. Not nearby. It's right on Princeton University campus. And I didn't even think about how crowded it was going to be. I got there. It's like Saturday. My appointment's at 12. 0 parking spots on the street. And it's like, well, I guess I just park in the parking garage. And I mean, I see the words parking garage now and I shudder because I've been in too many parking garages where it's just like, holy fuck, dude. Like I remember it was after I came home from a reunion at Hopkins where I just completely abused myself the entire time. And I think I drove back or tried to drive back. And I think like my buddy who I was driving back was like, can you pull over so I can drive? Because you're passing out at the wheel. So I remember I go to my buddy's place in the city and it was like, I wasn't really sure how long I was going to stay. So it was like, I don't know how, I've never lived in the city. I don't live in the city. Sue me, So I was like, I don't really know how the parking works around here. So I'm just going to go in a parking garage. And I go in a parking garage. I literally go into my friend's place, fall face down first on his bed and take a nap. I wake up like an hour or 2 later. And I'm like, I got to get back. I got to get back to my place, not to New York City. And I go to pay and I go to get my car and it's like $60. 60, not 16, not sweet 16, like 60. So I can only imagine. And that was 2000, the knots, I guess we're calling them the knots. I don't know. Before 2010, right around that time. So I can only imagine what the price is now. So like I see parking garage now and I have like flashbacks and I wince and I grimace and I cringe. I'm like, well, all right, I guess I'm out with $30 here because this is going to be an hour because I'm not just getting a haircut, which is half an hour. I'm also getting a hot shave. So go in the parking garage and it's like, that's packed. And I'm just like, what the hell? So I was late to that. Sweet. And so I get paired up with this barber who's a smaller woman, curly black hair, tattoos. And it's a Saturday and it's 12. So the barbershop like kind of just opened. And she's like, you here for the shave? Because I was like, I let it all grow out. Like you see this now? Like it was probably 2 to 3 times the length. It wasn't like a full beard, but it was like, you're about to enter beard territory. So I was like, oh, haircut and a shave. And she's like, oh, cool. Take a seat. So take a seat and she gets to work. She's asking me a bunch of questions. And I was like, well, she's like, you got any plans tonight? And I was like, well, funny you should ask. I'm going on a date. And she asked a couple questions. And so I think that might not have helped her out in terms of like pressure in this situation, because it's like new customer, not familiar with their head. I don't know if that's a thing with barbers, but like sometimes it's like you get your regulars and you're like, all right, I can navigate this guy's cranium like the back of my hand. So yeah, it's like new customer. It's a Saturday in the morning. This girl looks like she likes to party. So, 2 and 2, that's 4. So I like fairly certain she's hungover. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making assumptions. But as I'm trying to watch like the college football game on the small TV, out of the corner of my eye, I'm seeing her hands go around my head, and it's like they're kind of shaking. Yeah, it's not the greatest thing you want to see. It's like seeing your surgeon with the tremors, before you go under. You're like, oh, here I come, God. Here I come, Jesus. Make a way. So that was during the haircut. So you can imagine what my thoughts were as we were going to the hot shave. And if you're not familiar with the hot shave, it's where they'll lather you up, but they have like the nice warm towel that they put on you. It's supposed to soften the skin, make the skin nice and soft. So it's, you're able to cut better. And then it's the fucking razor, the paper thin razor that they wield that, I think about what's his name? Johnny Damon, Johnny Depp in that Barber movie, Cyrano de Bergerac. No, that's not it, Neil. Holy fuck. The Barber of Seville. Is that a thing? Anyway, they flip open that thing. It's like a long curved fucking blade. And the last time I had that going on for me was probably the day of my wedding. My wife's bridesmaid / best friend's husband was like, hey, come on, let's go for a hot shave. I'm like, all right, well, I just shaved yesterday. And despite that, you want to know what my hair situation is? I know we talk a lot about hair on this podcast, okay? And you've probably already tuned out. If you're that gross that you've already tuned out, great. For the fucking survivors, for the fucking tough guys that have stuck around through all that gross, disgusting talk, that chatter. Thank you, first and foremost. Secondly, dude, let's hang out. Anyway, I had shaved the day before my wedding. I woke up the morning of my wedding and I had a 5 o'clock shadow. I was like, holy fuck. So I was like, yeah, I'll do a hot shave. Ooh, dear God. Yeah, I'll do a hot shave. And I got the hot shave the morning of my wedding. And by the time my wedding came around, which was like 5-ish, 6 maybe in the evening, 5 o'clock shadow. So my date was Saturday. It's now Thursday. This is like a 9 o'clock shadow. Like, holy shnikes. So yeah, I grow hair fast, and I like the sound of a hot shave. It just sounds like so fancy, and I wanted to get in that kind of vibe going of like, hey, you're not this cheapskate, all right? You're not this curmudgeon, tight-fisted, frugal fuck anymore. You are a guy who's willing to invest in himself and how he looks. And I was like, yeah, hot shave, let's do it, full 9, come on. And as she's doing the hot shave, it's just like, she must have lathered me half a dozen to a dozen times. I don't think that's normal, but maybe it is. Maybe she just needed to reset. She was like, holy fuck, that was close. I almost cut his jugular. Did you see that? I almost sliced his goddamn throat open. He almost became a goddamn Pez dispenser. Did you see that, Gina? And so maybe that's her way of taking like a 20-second timeout. Like, whoa, I gotta back that ass up. Like, whoa, dude. But all I could see is as she's like hovering near my throat is like her hand shaking. And I was like, well, it's been a wild ride, and I've lived a full life. I think I've seen some shit. I've had some stories. So let's do this. See you soon, Dad. But no, she actually didn't cut me at all. Like, didn't draw any blood whatsoever, which is I was like very impressed with. But then the moment I got home and like saw myself in the mirror, I was like, oh, she just like completely missed like several spots. I think she's just like, I'm just gonna go with this one spot I know won't cut him for about an hour, and then we're good. And oh, look at that, you're good. So no, it wasn't like 5 o'clock shadow. She didn't miss any spots per se, but I thought it was gonna be like my back felt after the wax, like just baby soft, and you forget like, no, Neal, you fucking idiot. They've actually made some incredible advancements in shaving and razors. 5 blades. We added another blade. Like Gillette and all them have done a fantastic job of revolutionizing the hair cutting game. So yeah, who would have thought that one single blade, no matter how sharp it is, still is like not completely competing with modern day razors. Who knew? But yeah, so that got done at like 1-ish. I come home and I decide, all right, I'm going to strap on the ankle weights and the weighted vest, and I'm going to go for a little walk. And it's like, yes, time is of the essence. But this is what I like to do. I like to put the pressure on. I like to feel like it's the fourth quarter, game 7. We're down, we're down by score. But I thought I like have to get this in, because it'll put me in it'll get the dopamine or the serotonin or whatever the fuck it like releases when you exercise. It'll get that going, flowing through the body, and then I can take that good energy, write it on to the date. And so yeah, I was cutting it close, and then I did my Manscaped order came. Manscaped, because I've been seeing this for so long and it's been hit over my head repeatedly in everything that I consume. It's like manscaped.com promo code / so it's like, all right, fuck it. Obviously, if I'm gonna go as far as a back wax, a hot shave, I might as well just do it up and get Manscaped. So I got Manscaped. Box shows up, like, how fortuitous, like the morning of Saturday. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just run down, grab that, and I'll just clock in, get to work. You know what I'm saying? So that took way too long. That was probably an hour, but the box, like, I opened the box and there's just like goo everywhere on everything, dude. And I was just like, oh, okay, maybe I won't scape today. Maybe no scaping going on. We're gonna, I call my bathroom the escape room, but the escape room. Anyway, so yeah, manscaping. There was some serious manscaping that went on. And again, no one's going to see me without my clothes on, but it's like, it's not about that. It's about like, damn, I wish I love. No, it was like, damn, Daniel. No, it's just like, damn, I feel better. I feel lighter on my feet because technically I am, considering the amount that comes off of me. Holy smokes. So that took forever. But when I opened the box that had all the products, it was just goo everywhere. And apparently the top on the body wash had like come loose or come off, and it just looks everywhere, dude. So that was unfortunate. But I did score, and maybe this is why I'm divorced. Maybe this is why I'm like better off single. Maybe is because I took pictures of it and I submitted it to customer support like a fucking Karen. Male Karen, which I think is a Keith. No, it's not Keith. Hope it's not Keith. So, but I got a free body wash out of it. Customer's always right. So that took way longer than expected. And maybe that's part of the shop too. That's part of the shop that I'm going to open. Dudes Being Dudes Salon, Bistro, Barber Shop, Quartet, Pub. Maybe that's it. It's like, I would love to do, that machine, it looks like a torture. Maybe it was on Game of Thrones, but I've seen it maybe in Addams Family too. I think like Gomez sleeps in it or something like that. But it looks like a giant coffin that stands up and you open it and inside, or maybe it's Uncle Fester. And inside of, there's all these spikes on the inside of the door and in the inside. And it's like, I guess, you close it and then that's where it smushes the person inside, or maybe it's just like tortures them because of the needles or the spikes are so close to them. I would love to either invent something like that, just like a stand-up booth where you go in and the doors close and it just somehow, like, I don't know if it's like it like molds to your body, but it just like removes all your hair painlessly, pain-free. I feel like that's got to be on the horizon before I fucking croak, hopefully at the age of at a minimum of 83, hopefully. That has to be an invention. And I want like just 1% of the proceeds, my man. That's all I'm asking. So I was thinking either that, like a stand-up coffin booth type thing, or just like an Iron Man-esque suit. Like you step into the suit and it's just like, it hums and vibrates and for like a minute, dude. 5 minutes at most. You in it, like it unleashes and it lets you go, right? The suit comes off like an Iron Man. And you're like, you're fucking hairless, or you're groomed to the perfect length. It just has to happen. It's just think about the time and energy I put into looking like I'm not a Yeti, like I'm not a Sasquatch, like just to look like a human being who hasn't been lost at sea, for the past 2 decades. Like just to look like a normal human being. I spent 3-ish hours and $200-$300 just to look normal. Ugh. And some people don't even have to do that ever. Like, oh boy. I'm trying to think of like what I would, because like they're obviously those people that have the perfect arm hair, leg hair, length, chest hair, back hair, like no back hair. Those people, I'm sure they're going through some shit. I'm sure they have like gingivitis or something, But I'm trying to think, like, maybe I would just, like, be sweet for, like, a year just to not have to worry about it. That'd be awesome. Like, is it going to slow down? No, it's going to get worse. It's like the nose hair trimmer is also an ear hair trimmer, dude. That's on the packaging. By the way, the packaging that comes with Manscaped, what the fuck is going on there, dude? What the fuck is going on there? The amount of money that they've put into all the bullshit details. I think if this were bar rescue, not that Manscaped needs to be rescued, and I was what's his face in Bar Rescue, I would go in there and I'd be like, why are you doing all this like weird marketing stuff everywhere? Like the person has the product. Okay, the product's in their hands. They wanted it, they bought it, and now they have it. Why do you have so much packaging and inserts and cards and a fucking newspaper, dude? A newspaper. How many fucking trees? Not to sound like a Biden guy, not to sound like a hip or a thumb, but like, Jesus, dude. How many fucking trees do we have to kill for you to make the millionth manscaping joke? You're not just beating a dead horse, dude. The dead horse is like a pulp. Now it's a pulp. Okay, no more bones, no more ligaments, no more muscles, tendons, anything. It's pulp, a bloody pulp. And you're actually now digging a hole. You're digging your own hole. Whoa, that got dark. But you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, the level of fun, like, just. Here's what you need to do. And I'm sure there's a company that does this. I know there's a company that does this. Like they just have their company name on the bottle. And then any other like required legal bullshit that they have to put on there, whatever legal bullshit that they have to put on there, they put it on there. Other than that, it's the company name. And when it doesn't come in a fucking massive plastic, like molded thing with like in 5 different boxes and all these materials. What the fuck, dude? I just want the product. Like, give me the product. Insane. I wish I could show you this newspaper. I have one over there, but it's just like, what? Why did who's getting paid to do that? So that the whole grooming took a little bit too long, and then I worked out, and then I took a fucking very quick shower. And as I'm getting like, I don't even have the towel. I'm not even completely dried off. I ordered the Uber to the train station because I was like, you know, it's gonna take forever for them to get here, and I'm up against the clock. Like, I can't miss this train. If I do miss this train, then I gotta drive to my buddy's place, and I gotta park in a fucking parking garage and pay $70 million just to have my car sit there. And then I gotta, so it's like I can't miss this train. So I ordered it, thinking it would be 19 minutes away, and sure enough, that's the time that came up, 19 minutes away. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to race, but it's fine. And then I put on my boxers and my briefs, and I come back to look at the time. It's like 4 minutes away. And I was like, is this Quantum Leap? Is this a new Quantum Leap? Which looks kind of good, but also awful. I'm like, oh man, okay. I just through time and space, I did it. Wow. But yeah, 4 minutes away. So I had to like quickly speed dress, and my hair wasn't even dry yet. And I'm pretty sure it was like, luckily I was wearing a patterned shirt, so you couldn't see the fucking Finger Lakes of sweat all over my body through the shirt. But caught the Uber, and then caught the train. Was actually early to the train, and it was a long ride in on that train, and it's a long time to like not freak out. It's a long time with yourself and your thoughts, and like, just trying to like kind of distract yourself, but also like you kind of want to prep yourself. It's almost like a job interview, but like you don't treat it as a job interview. You got to be a little more casual, and then, holy shit, and you've officially overthought it. But no. So I grabbed the New York Penn, I grabbed the E, and then take that to Lex. And this is, like I said, I haven't lived in the city. I'm familiar with the city, how it works, all that shit. But there's something about the east side when you get to like 3rd, 2nd Lexington, like that area, where it's just, it sounds like it should be so simple. Like, here is, okay, we're going to start with 8th. We're going to go 7th, 6th, 5th, and then no, there is no 4th. Okay, weird. And then 3rd, and then was 2nd or Lexington first? So Lexington or 2nd. Where's Park fit in? So yeah, that's where it gets real dicey over there. And what's sad is like I've worked over there multiple times. Like I've worked in an office, full-time job, commuted there for so many years, and still don't have any clue. So obviously, I missed the E train because I didn't have my Metro card. And there's a bunch of lines. Like, if you had to rank the worst lines that possibly be in, DMV is one, right? Post office is another. Waiting to buy a Metro card at the subway station. Gotta be top 3, top 5 worst lines to wait in. Has to be. Because it's bonkers to me. Like, all right, I get it. New York City gets a lot of tourists. I get it. And I'm at New York Penn, which is like the epicenter of the plague, which is humanity. And so, yeah, I get it. So a lot of tourists, non-native New Yorkers, like a lot of people who are just not familiar and don't know what they're doing. I get it. But it's the majority, especially on a Saturday afternoon/evening. And so I missed the first E train. So now I'm like definitely going to be like 10 minutes late. And then as I go through the turnstile and I walk like 2-3 steps, I'm like, oh, there's that smell. There's that beautiful stench that I've missed so much now that I'm working remotely and working from home 100%. I miss you. Awful garbage / dookie / festering wound / bottle of farts. Like it's every worst possible smell. And I remember I'm standing there and I'm going, man, I put all this effort, like 3, 4, 5 hours into looking and feeling my best, wanted to smell good for this young lady. And now I'm going to fucking reek because it's permeating my skin, not just my clothes, my skin. It's in my soul. And so then the train finally comes and I'm like, I text her as soon as I get out of the subway station at Lexington. And I'm like, hey, really sorry. Or no, I texted her from the platform before I got on the train. I was like, I'm really sorry. The E-train, I missed it, or I'm running late, or, I'm waiting for the E-train and I should be there, about 10 minutes late. I'm very sorry. She's like, no, it's okay. I'm running late myself. So I'm like, all right, I feel a little bit better. And I get off at the train station at Lexington, and the bar's on 2nd Ave. And I walked the complete wrong way. And for all those people who are not familiar with New York City, these quote unquote blocks on the east side, when you're going from west to east, east to west, lateral, horizontal on the island, are a country mile long. No joke. These are the longest blocks, have to be in human history, possibly in the galaxy or universe, in all of the cosmos. I mean, these fucking blocks are so long. So like I walked, it's like, walk this way to the exit. So I'm like, okay, or you could walk this way to that exit. And I'm like, I think I want to go that way because I think the bar is closer to 3rd. And so I walked all the way in the wrong direction, get out of the subway, dialed up the map, brought it up, and it was like, nope, you just went a full country mile the wrong way. So I was another 10 minutes late, and she made a joke, which made me feel better about myself. But at the same time, it's like, I think she's probably being polite. In her head, she's probably so pissed that I'm so dumb. So yeah, I was 20 minutes late to the first date. And Irish pub, like I mentioned, their menu is interesting. Well, first impressions, beautiful young lady, beautiful. We hugged to start off with, and I gotta admit, I got off to a rocky start. I'm not a good starter. I'm also not a good finisher. I was a middle reliever in college. What do you want me to do? I was the guy who held the clipboard on the sideline during football. What do you want me to do, dude? I don't start, I don't finish. I just come in here and there, support, relief, that kind of thing, emergency situations. So yeah, I mean, I got off to a slow start on my end. And I think that's just because of maybe like the traveling and just like the trauma. Okay. There was trauma. I'm a victim. And so the menu, it's kind of a small menu. On one side's of food and the other side is beer and wine. And I was like, oh shit, it's an Irish pub. And like, do all Irish pub, it's been a while since hey, no joke. It's been a while since I've been to a bar. Okay. It's been a while. It's been a minute. So a little unfamiliar. And part of me is like, I guess Irish pubs don't serve like mixed drinks or liquor. Huh. That's me looking at the menu. Meanwhile, literally we're at the bar staring at a entire wall of liquor bottles, but I think it must not have crossed my mind that it was like, oh, those are liquor bottles we can drink. They're not just like display only. This isn't just like decorations. It's not just it's not like fucking Applebee's or TGI Fridays where they just hang random shit on the wall. Those are actually liquor bottles we can drink. So it took us about 2 or 3 beers to realize, oh, let's just do that. That seems cool. So eventually we got around to that. And so the date's going fairly well. Get that little social juice, the Lucy juice, I like to call it, in my system. And then I can, kind of relax the shoulders and unclench the jaw, and like my butthole can just like nice and aerate. And so we're talking, and then I look at her face and her eyes have widened. She's like, do not turn around. And I'm like, oh, she probably sees like a celebrity. We are in the city. We're on the east side. We're by the UN. She probably sees like the representative from Uganda, that kind of thing. And she goes, don't turn around. And so with every time she said it, I got like a little more concerned, to the point where it was like the fifth don't turn around. And I was like freaking out. I was like, I gotta, you do want me to turn around. Okay. I think I get it now. And so I turned my face, and there's a woman with her chin like an inch from my shoulder. Like it looks like she's I'm Captain Blackbeard. Like I'm Pirates of the Caribbean style. And like she's my little parrot. So I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? And I turned, so I, open it up to her, and she goes, because my date and I had been talking about college. And so this woman goes, my dad wanted me to go to Hopkins, and he wanted me to become a doctor. And I said no. And he hated me for it. Then I told him I was going to get my degree in social work. And then he completely cut me off and called me a failure. And then I got a master's, and then I told him I got a master's in public administration. He started to turn around and open back up to me. And then now I'm the head of operations for 5 charter schools throughout the city. And I was like, wow. Like, I didn't ask you any of that. And you just offered it up freely to a stranger at a bar. And keep in mind, like, we met at 5:20. We ended up leaving at like 8:20. We were there for 3 hours. This is probably hour 1 or 2 that this event happened. This incident happened. And she was gone, my man. Like, gone. See ya. Peace. 2 fingers. Been nice. Obliterated. Telling me a roller coaster of a story, but kind of had a happy ending. I was like, oh, well, you're the head of operations. You're doing what you love. You're head of operations at charter schools, which I hear are nice. And it's like, fuck yeah, dude. And then she says, yeah, and I make a lot of money. And I was like, okay, there it is. I'm like actually interacting with the manifestation of daddy issues. Oh, that's cool. Wow. It's nice to finally meet you. Although I have been married to you for 5 years. Yeah. So, but then the icing, okay, this little fucked up cake, right? The coup de grace, the bow on this present of whoa. She says all this. I'm head of operations, 5 charter schools throughout the city. Make a lot of money. But I'd rather be blogging about, I think all I want to do is blog about bars and restaurants. And it's just like, oh my God. It's crazy. Happiness is an illusion. It's chasing the dragon, my man. I don't think there's any way anyone's ever really happy. It's just not the thing. Everyone wants to be doing something else. Rock stars want to be athletes. Athletes want to be rock stars. It's just like, whoa, dude. So yeah. And then I kind of just like lean back and look to the left because I see there's a dude sitting next to her. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, I'm so sorry. Are you guys on a date? I'm interrupting. I'm so sorry. She's not really sorry. And then I kind of like pop back and look at the guy, and I was like, oh, are you on a date as well? And she goes, no, it's my fiance. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. And maybe I should have done the math, 2 plus 2. Duh, that's the fiance, because he had zero interest in what she was doing or what was going on with us. I mean, literally, this conversation was not like a quick 5-second thing. I mean, this woman was like giving us the full shebang. Yeah. And he's just sitting there watching college football highlights on his phone. Appalachian State college football highlights, because apparently they had like an insane game winner at the buzzer. And he actually showed me the highlight, the play that won it for them. So I was like, whoa, that's fucking cool. And then I was like, wow, App State, more like Upset State. And he was like, oh yeah, bro. And then they like got up and left. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Damage done. We've now sincerely impacted your first date. We gave you a story to talk about. You're welcome. And then they were out. I feel like I owe them more than I do the back waxer. Thank you for giving me conversation fuel for the next 2 hours. So yeah, I think we hung out there until around 8:20 and learned a lot about each other. And towards the end of it, it's like 8:20, and she goes, my friends are having a going away party on the west side. This place called blah, blah, blah. Would you want to go with me? You don't have to go, but would you want to go with me? And I don't know if I said it this time or another time, because there was more than one place on this list. I was like, I don't really read social cues. Like I don't do social cues. So if you really want me to fuck off, you have to tell me to fuck off and like not smile. Because I'll interpret the smile. I'll think that's a cue to like, no, I'm JKing y'all. So and she's like, no, I really want you to come. I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, interesting. I guess that's a good sign, right? That's a good sign. Okay, it's a good sign. Thanks, Jiminy, hanging outside at the window. Oh my God. So we get an Uber, we go to this going away party, and it's like a railroad style bar. We go in and there the party, it's a private party all the way at the back of the bar. It's kind of like sectioned off. They have little plates of food on the counter, which was just like, took every fiber of my fucking being to not just demolish that entire buffet of treats. Just like go to town and just fucking hoover that whole line. Like just snort it like Johnny Depp and Blow. A lot of Johnny Depp mentions in this pod. Whoa, what's going on? So yeah, but we roll up and everyone's kind of dressed in like black. And it's very solemn, very quiet, not a lot of chatter, not a lot of hooting, hollering, not like a lot of loud music or anything like that. And it's like the couple, and they're like kind of opening like this very ornate, intricate gift. Like they open and there's hay, and it's just like, and apparently there was an Instagram account that people were invited to manage, and they all were adding like photos of this couple's time in New York City. Now that they're moving to Tampa, like they can have this and look back and be like, I was like, a really great idea. But I'm like, I come up and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be here. And I didn't say this to my date, but I was just like, I don't know, this feels like very intimate and like emotional, and I'm like just the random first date guy who's crashing it. This feels weird. So, it was just that one part. We basically rolled up at the worst possible moment to be like, oh, I'm at a funeral. Holy fuck. Like I'm at an actual funeral. I need to get the hell out of here. So it picked up after that. And then my date introduced me to her friends. One friend, a gentleman with a husband who couldn't make it to the going away party because he went to England and waited in line for 12 hours to see Queen Elizabeth's coffin. Not body, coffin. And there's rumors she wasn't in it. I'm trying to think of what I would wait in line for 12 hours to do. And the list is not very long. I don't even think there is a list. Maybe it's one thing. Maybe. And I think even if I was like agreed to it initially, I would get to hour 6 and I'd be like, fuck this. Yeah, it's really not worth it. I could be doing so many other things like watching TV. So that was interesting. She introduced me to another friend who worked for CBS Sports. My ears like perked up like I was a little prairie dog. Like, ooh, ooh, ooh. She said she works like NFL games, PGA matches, golf tournaments, stuff like that, big major sports events. And I was just like, man, this sounds like a dream job. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how I'd be able to handle that because most of your weekends are kind of shot. No, your nights are mostly shot. Like, it's just, I've always been like, well, I'll miss out on all the cool shit that happens at night or on the weekends. And meanwhile, it's like, what are you doing on the nights and the weekends there, Neely boy? Oh, you're just watching television, you fucking moron. So, and then my date threw out there, oh, she won an Emmy. And then I did like this kneel down thing, like I was getting knighted and she was the queen or something like that. And it did not go over well at all. But yeah, I figured we'd been this far. I'd already laid some pretty weird stuff on her in our conversations. Like one of my first stories that I opened with was the time I almost missed my flight I almost missed going to the Playboy Mansion because, my flight was delayed and then I got on the wrong flight and then my bag got on the wrong flight. And then, it was a pretty grotesque story, which I think I've told on the pod before, but if not, this is not the time. Okay. But she hung in there, she didn't flinch. And so I was like, all right, I can do like a little bit of weird things here and there. Right. But that was weird, me doing that. And eventually I had to cave and I was like, and she's like, do you want to eat something? I was like, I'm starving, but I can't eat anything. There's no one else over there. By the way, this whole group of friends that she has, all basketball players. I'm 6 foot, barely 6 foot. I was the shortest dude there by about 3 to 4 inches for sure. There were 3 women taller than me. So they're growing big out in the Midwest. They're all from Wisconsin, apparently, even though my date was not from Wisconsin. I was like, I don't know how this adds up. But again, how many friend groups I've been in where they're like, well, how do you know that guy? And everyone's like, we don't really know. We just became friends with them randomly. So I get it. It's like, you're not from Wisconsin, but you have a bunch of Wisconsin friends. I get it. I think what happens is like you live with each other, you live near each other in the city for a decade, dude. At this point, it's like, yeah, there's my Wisconsin friends, and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I think if you like born and raised and lived your entire life in like Utah, you'd be like, why do you have so many Wisconsin friends? Anyway, yeah, I was the shortest person there by a long shot. And everyone's slim and good looking and like skinny. And I'm just like this dude who's like, I dropped a pound this week. You're proud of me? So I was hesitant about the food, but I hadn't had anything to eat since the fucking omelet. So I was kind of tired. And I did have a multiple drinks in my system. And eventually my date's like, I was like, I don't want to be the only person over there eating, and it's going to look so bad. And she's like, well, I'll walk over with you. I'll escort you over there. I was like, all right. Yeah, I dig it. Go over there and it's like wings, tacos. And I'm just like, I can't fucking eat any of this shit because I'm definitely getting that all over my face and all over my shirt. It's like it's like a minus 500 bet, minus 600 bet. So she's like, well, there's fries and tots. And I was like, all right, here we go. So I just like kind of pick at the fries and tots. And she eventually had to go to the bathroom or something like that with her best friend, probably talk about me. And her best friend was probably like, what are you doing? He fucking kneeled in front of me. He knelt. Neal knelt in front of me. Why are you still with him? Run. So I did end up being the only person at that food counter smashing tots and fries. But it's like, dude, I gotta get something in this I gotta get something in the engine, you know? I'm on fumes. And so she comes back out of the bathroom and she's like, hey, check this out. So-and-so got bottle service at this nightclub. It's only 10:30. Do you want to go? I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? This is like the ultimate test, right? Like, hey, first date's going well. I'm going to introduce all my friends. Now I'm going to introduce you into a situation you have not been in 10 plus years, 12 plus years. Like bottle service, dude. I can't even, I'm not like a bottle service guy, but I've definitely done it once or twice. Like 2009 bachelor party where I think we got kind of gypped, to be honest. We had a lot of bottle rats, you know what I'm saying? Trying to hang around and cling and be like, hey, what's up? And then drink all our booze. I think that's the last time, to be honest. So it's been a while. And I was like, is this another test? And is she trying, like, does she want to get rid of me? And she's like, she keeps trying to like hint that I should like go, I should go home, blah, blah. And again, I was like, if you want me to F off, you gotta tell me to F off. And she's like, no, let's do it. I'm like, all right. So we go to this club and there's a line down the street and it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that. And I'm like, all right. So they go up to, there's a huge line. We skip the line. There's like 8 or 9 of us. We skip the line. We go up probably 2 flights of stairs to the elevators. Elevators go up another 30 plus floors. We get escorted to our table. It's the corner booth, like at the very end. We're at the corner of the building, huge glass windows. And like you basically are staring eye to eye, face to face with the Empire State Building. Just like boom, right there. It's like, holy fuck. Like you could reach out and touch the Empire State Building, the top of the Empire State Building. So I was like, all right, this is not so bad. I mean, I have zero room to maneuver. I have no elbow room. I feel claustrophobic. And I'm also like partying with a forest. Like I'm surrounded by trees. You know what I'm saying? So many tall people. So I did get a little claustro for a second there. Where it was just like, I'm like constantly trying to like, excuse me, which I'm not a fan of. And so eventually my date's like, I don't know if I can do this liquor anymore. Can I I'm going to go buy a beer. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, let's go get, give me some friggin' air. So we go to the bar area and there's a lot more room around there. She orders a Bud Light. They're like, we don't have Bud Light. We're a nightclub, but we have Amstel Light. And I'm like, she's like, ooh, I've never had that. I think I'll try it. And I was like, what? Have you not had Amstel Light, dude? And she's like, is it good? And I'm thinking like the last time I've had Amstel Light had to be like in college at a social where they like, that was the cheapest deal we could get, like $30 all you can drink Amstel. like it's usually the beer you drink when there's fucking like no other beers available. And so I was just like, yeah, it's good. So she ends up drinking it and loving it, which I thought was funny as hell. But we're standing there. There's like there's not really anyone around us except this like small jacked black dude carrying a purse. And he's pretty small, but he's jacked. Like he's probably like 5 foot, but jacked, just yoked. Just like, take like, trying to think of like Carl the Mailman Malone or like Ben Wallace and then like smush him to 5 feet. He was ripped though. He was ripped. He was a solid beefy dude at 5 foot carrying a purse, and he's with a date. Maybe he's with a lady, and that lady is shorter than him, but she's not a little person. And I think she's like just out of the range of being considered a little person. I think she's just outside that range, like a skosh. I wouldn't be surprised if she was 4'4", 4'5". Just threw me for a loop. It's like two of the smallest people in the club, and they are grinding on each other. Horde. Just like two little mice in a field, just having at it. And the beauty of that is they're doing it like on us. Like multiple times I felt like a hand or an ass or boob or something, just a body part rub up against me. And every time I look, it's them. And we must have walked away like two or three times, and they just kept on grinding and finding their way back to us. It got to the point where my date was like, why is everyone trying to fuck us? I was wearing like a long sleeve plaid Ralph Lauren polo shirt with blue jeans and boots. And she was wearing a nice black flowy blouse shirt off the shoulder, jeans, and like, leopard print shoes, like not heels. So it wasn't like we're like, I would assume if you're a swinger or a swinging couple, you'd put out some serious skin or some vibes. Like you'd want to look like you're there for intercourse. And we were not that. And so maybe they thought it was like a challenge. Maybe that was like the swingers challenge. Like, hey guys, okay, so you've already done the first few things on the list. Okay. You've already seduced a gay man, and you've managed to turn him straight, but then also back to gay in the span of an hour. Fantastic. You've also lured in a woman, a virgin, and you got her to peg you. Great. But what we really think, we left the best for last, is this really conservative dressed couple over there. If you can get them, it's like, I don't know. So that was fun, avoiding them and their wicked games. And then so her friend at this point is actually the smallest person in our group, shorter than me, if you can believe that, and just schmammered, just faced. And she would like kind of be like, oh, follow me, and like walk away. And my date would like take a step and then be like, no. I'd be like, well, your friend, like, we got to help your friend. Like, she's drunk. Like, she might need us. We're in a nightclub. Like, she's by herself. And she goes, nah, that's what her husband's for. And I was like, all right. Yes. Okay. I get it now. We are not in our 20s. Got it. If we were both like 28, even 30, 25 to 30, or like, younger, and be like, she would be like, I have to take care of my friend. I have to take care of her. She doesn't have anybody. I just watched Dateline, like, but now it's like, oh no, her husband can take care of her. I was like, all right, getting older is not so bad after all. We did eventually find her and took care of her and escorted her out, but I think, at this point we go back to the table and it's not as crowded. It's kind of thinned out, but I'm just like, I need to take a load off, essentially. My dog's barking. So I sit down on the couch, my date's sitting on the couch, and this guy comes up wearing a suit and tie's like kind of undone. Hair is like all over the place and double fisting. And I'm just like, okay, this guy likes to party. Maybe he's part of a wedding. I'm getting a wedding vibe from him. And he's holding out his phone and he's trying to take a picture of the Empire State Building, because how can you not, dude? By the way, what the hell is going on with cameras? It's been twice now where like the Empire State Building was literally tickling my nose. It was literally about to lick me. Okay. I go to take a picture of it with my phone because I'm basic, and it looked like it was fucking in Queens. Like it just looked like it was so goddamn far away. I'm like, what the fuck? That happens with the moon too. There was a full moon, and I was like, it's essentially, I could high five the moon. And I go to take a picture, and it's like, is that Mars? Like, what is that? It's so, same with the fucking bug. I went to back to school night for Brie, I come home and I'm taking my key to unlock the door, and I'm like, whoa, I jump back and there's like a humongous bug on the door. And I'm like, I mean, how often do I see this in fucking Princeton? This ain't goddamn Amazon, homie. So like, this thing fucking vibrates. So I pull out the phone, I go to take a picture, and it's like, it doesn't look big on the screen. And I take the picture, and I'm like, this looks like, what the fuck? No. So I don't get what cameras are anymore. You think it's like, I'm seeing this with my eye. I just want to, we're getting to that point now, right? Where like we just wear contacts and you just blink. Like, and the joke was, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm taking a mental picture. It's like, that's going to happen. Before I die, it's going to happen. And if it can be the same resolution, if it can be like the same like size as what I'm seeing, it'd be fantastic. So, he's taking a picture of the Empire State Building, and my date's like, hey, can you take a picture of us? And I'm like, whoa, this is just like getting randomer by the second. So he's like, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. So he takes a picture. She's like, let me see it. She looks at it. She takes his phone. Well, she has him redo it again. Of course. Why not? That's what you do when you're a lady. And so he takes another picture. She takes it and texts herself the picture. And the guy sits next to me, and he's like, hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Oh, I don't have no idea where my fiance is. I think she fucked off somewhere. And I got 8 balls of Coke back in my room. And I think he started talking about like everyone in this wedding party wants to fuck. And like, I'm just like, yet again, unsolicited. I don't even think I said, how are you? Or how's your night going? I was just like, and I'm just going to dump all this on you. There you go. And great. Oh, someone has already dumped on you. Oh, then you're the dump on guy. Oh, thank God. Verbal diarrhea. Cool dude. Cool dude, though. Part of me was like, is he like trying to sell me Coke right now? And then the other part of me was like, should I buy some Coke right now? Because I was fading, dude. You can imagine I was up at 9, been drinking since 5. It's now 12:30 in the morning. It's like, hey, if we're here, this is a critical juncture. And where were you, Jiminy Cricket? Where were you? You're probably here, haunting my dreams outside my bedroom window. So it turns out the dude was from England, born in Britain, but has lived in Texas the past 20 years. So he's a British motherfucking Texan. That's fucking cool, man. But who knows if he found his fiance or not. Insane. And what I didn't even think about until just now is what I'm about to tell you. So shortly thereafter, it's like, okay, I just turned down that. Good on you. Now you got to get out of here and get home. Cause like, how much longer are you supposed to do this? So she's like, yeah, we should probably get out of here. So we get out, we leave probably close to 1-ish, I want to say. Take the elevator down, take the steps down, come outside. There's still a fucking line so goddamn long. And so she orders her Uber. I order my Uber. There's 2 ladies who look fairly similar. That's similar in stature for all those trying to decode at home. Oh. And the one woman, they both look like they're wearing what could be like a wedding gown if you're going like super casual wedding. But more, it's probably something you would wear for like your rehearsal dinner the night before the wedding. I think you wear a nice white dress before that. I don't know. Anyway, there's 2 of them, both wearing very similar dresses, both like similar stature, similar height, all that stuff, hair. Like originally I was like, oh, these sisters? And the one woman's on the phone and I just hear her say, suck a fat dick. And I was just like, I am invested. Mm-hmm. Where do I deposit? Is there like a fee? Do you accept checks? Like I want in. What is this conversation? So I think she ends up hanging up on whoever she was yelling at. And then she just goes off on the nightclub we just came out of. She's like, this is the worst. I've never been to such a piece of shit place in all my life. And this was the kicker. I'm 34. I've been partying for 20 plus years. I've never been to a worse place in my life. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, 34 minus 14. Holy moly, dude. This chick was partying at 14. She was hanging out in a line at Marquee in clogs, braces, ponytail with like a flip phone. Whoa, this chick can roll. This chick is legit. And then she complimented us on our age, I think. And then her wife, twist, M. Night Shyamalan, bitch. It was her wife. I think they just got married or they're about to get married, but they made a great couple. I thought they made a great couple. And we wished them the very best as her wife was just apologizing to us profusely. And we're like, why? This is like entertaining as hell. And then my buddy was like, I told that story to my buddy, and he was like, maybe that's the fiance of the British Texan cokehead. I was like, and then the Stranger Things theme music came up, and I was like, oh, okay. Whoa. So we hugged. It was a good hug. We didn't kiss. And I think that really upset all the investors. Like I said at the beginning of this, you have like, here's this person in this side of the ring. Here's this person this side of the ring. We're getting coached up. And I think when we go back to our corners and we tell them like, here's what we're seeing out there. Here's what happened. Our trainers are like, oh, you didn't kiss. You didn't kiss. So, pardon me while I burst, dude, into flames. Like, it's tough to just decide like, hey, we're standing on the sidewalk out like in front of a massive line at a nightclub in New York City, and we're just gonna like make out. See, because like when I can't do like the go in, kiss on the lips, and then that's it. Like the peck, it's almost like a peck, right? Where it's just like I feel like if I'm gonna kiss, like I'm gonna kiss, dude, and I'm gonna keep on kissing. I'm gonna keep on kissing you. Like, that's how I feel. So I didn't really offer the kiss. I don't think she really offered the kiss. And I think we're okay with that, dude. Like, we're going to have a second date. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Gonna have a second date on Tuesday after my upper endoscopy, which is on Monday. But apparently she's had an upper endoscopy and she says, don't worry about it. She says she doesn't handle, what's it called? Alzheimer's. Wow. Adderall. Nope. You got this, Neal. I believe in you. When they put you under anesthesia. Oh my God. Whoa, boy. Whoa. So when they put you under, she apparently doesn't like stay under. Like she woke up in the middle of her upper endoscopy with a fucking skinny little camera down her throat. Yikes. That would freak me the hell out. But that wasn't the scariest part to her. It was like when they put the mouth guard in. So I don't know. Now I'm in my head about it now. But yeah, we hugged and we went our separate ways. She was having some serious Uber issues. Like I think she put in the wrong pickup spot and tried to edit it, and it was like can't be edited. And then the guy, she went to walk away. I was like, should I walk with her? I already ordered the Uber, and like I can't edit my pickup spot, and like it's late. And do I walk her to the thing? And so as I'm getting in, she texted me, the guy canceled on me. And it's like, am I supposed to tuck and roll right now? Am I supposed to tuck and roll and then find her? You must find her. I will find you. Like, so many thoughts going through my head. It's like, if she's like anything happens to her, like I feel like I'm probably going to serve jail time. Like I'm going to be guilty by association because I let that happen. Yeah. There's a lot of doomsday scenarios going through the old nog. So, no, she did get an Uber. Of course, she got in another Uber, or so she thought. And she's like, oh, the guy's app doesn't work. And I was like, you're not an Uber. You're not an Uber. Get out of the Uber. Get the fuck out of the Uber now. Like, I literally thought, like, that happens, right? Where these people pretend like they're an Uber. They get these fake ass Uber, fraud signs. Forged? No. Dude. Fortified. No. Forged? Yeah. Forged signs. No, that's not right. And then they pick up random women, single, like women by themselves in the street. And they're like, oh yeah, are you Uber? And the drunk woman's like, yeah, Uber. So I was like, immediately started to panic because I thought that's the situation that's happening right now. And no, she was having a problem with her Uber app as well. And she did get home. And I eventually got home half an hour later. This is why I fucking hate the city, even though I love the city. An Uber from New York City, West Side to Hoboken, $46 without tip. It's legitimately less than 3 miles. I won't even say less than 2 miles away. Meanwhile, I go 2 miles here in Princeton and it's like $10. God, that hurts. Fucking, why are they charging $20 for that goddamn tunnel? Anyway, yeah, got back to my friend's place. Ended up going to my friend's place because after 1 o'clock, I don't think there are any trains going back to Princeton. And the Uber to go from where I was to Princeton at that time was like literally more than a cost of a flight to South Carolina or Florida or Cuba or the Bahamas. I don't know how anyone can honestly think to charge that, but that was the going rate. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I won't take the nut punch today, good sir. I'll take the punch to the gut. Thank you. So I Ubered back to my friend's place. I have a key to their place, and I was worried because I thought, oh, God damn it. Am I going to get there? Because I don't have the fob. I have the key to the actual door. And there's there's the partitions in the vestibule, and how do I get through that, dude? If I don't have the fob. And so I ended up like texting my friends being like, hey, just make sure you're awake so that like I'm not stranded if the doorman decides to question me. Because I don't live there, not a resident. Anyway, thanks, bye. And they didn't respond. But I literally just walked up and the guy opened the door for me. So all that worry for nothing. I'm the ultimate warrior. And he said hi. I said hi. And I went up, got some sleep. And of course, the sleep anywhere else except my bedroom is non-existent because they don't have blackout curtains. So I was up at the break of dawn. And also, my friends were calling me like at 8 o'clock in the morning, being like, you need to tell us about everything that happened. It's just like, and so like I was getting judged, at a very like hungover, very early in the morning, getting judged. So I can, and same thing for my date. I ended up texting her for most of the morning into the afternoon, and same thing for her. Like, nope, I got a text and a call at 8 in the morning, and it was like they want to know everything. I was just like, I can't. They're more invested in this than we are. Holy day. Yeah, so, but yeah, another day on Tuesday. Still don't know what we're going to do. Need to do some research. And then my schedule is just awful after that. Like the next 3 weekends, I'll have Brie because I have her this weekend. And then I have her for the following 2 weekends because we're going to be in South Carolina because her mother, sorry, I'm not going to say my ex, bleep that. Her mother's birthday is towards the end of next week, and she's going to Greece. With who? Oh, look at you, so courteous, asking me with who. Thank you. That's so nice. Probably her college boyfriend or her sister and her best friend. Maybe all three of them. All the people that are just like, fuck you, Neal. So yeah, going to Greece. And I'll have Brie for the next 3 weekends. So it's going to be literally maybe like mid-October will be the next date. It's like, yes, I can pencil you in for 2023 at the earliest. So, yeah, but no, I think it went fairly well. And then I got back here on Sunday. First of all, I woke up 8 because I was getting the phone call. Talked on the phone forever. And finally got dressed and was like probably 10:30, almost 11ish. I'm like, I really wanted to go to the Giants games, the home opener. Even before they pull off that win in Tennessee, I wanted to go because I was like, I don't know. I haven't been to a game in a while. And like, I don't care if I go by myself because I'm with my brethren, my people. And even then at 10, 11 o'clock, as I'm like hungover in like first date clothes, I was like, I'm thinking maybe I can just do it. Just go. Fuck it. But no, cooler heads prevailed. Although, did cooler heads prevail? Not really. Because all I had to do was either walk to the train station or take an Uber to the train station. And either take that train to Secaucus and wait an hour for my train that's another hour to Princeton, or I could have taken the train to Newark and then hopefully catch an earlier train that's also an hour home. And it's like that's like 2 hours, 2+ hours we're looking at. I'm hungover. I want to get out of these clothes. I want to eat everything, dude. Everything. Todos las comidas. Okay? I want all of it. So I looked at the Lyft, and Lyft was like basically the price of a ticket, a flight. I was like, no, fuck you, Lyft. By the way, and this is how I knew, Google Maps, I was like, okay, it's going to be 2.5 hours on public transportation. I mean, I can do it. And I'd get home like at 1:30 and I'd miss like the first quarter. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe if it was like week 13 and they were 2-11, okay, not possible, but you know what I mean? But they're 1-0. They're undefeated. They're above 500. Okay. Got good vibes going on. They need me for that kickoff. So was like, all right, you look at Google Maps, it's like 2.5 hours. They have the icons, like the train, blah, blah, blah. So I put on the train, 2.5 hours. I look at, and then it's like the little person holding up like a shopping bag or something like that. And the Lyft must have some kind of deal with Google Maps because Lyft is always an option. It says Lyft, like $49 to $59. And I'm like, whoa, holy shit, that is a fucking bargain. And I click on that. And then Lyft opens and it's like, hey, yo, we got you, dude. We got you. Nah, man. It's going to be like $180, no tip. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nope, fuck that. And then that's when I was like, Uber's has to be more expensive than Lyft. So I'm not even going to check Uber. And I almost rented a car. Legit, I almost rented a car. I pulled up Avis because there was an Avis right across the street and a budget rent a car. And I'm like, check it out. Their cheapest car was like $78. And I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So I left their apartment, got dressed, left their apartment, went over to Avis, was waiting in line. When I checked Uber, just for shits and giggles, I was just like, let me just check this, whatever. And it was like $80 some odd. And I'm like, all right, fine. I just want to be home. So I was like, forego renting the car and I'll just get the Uber. And I ordered the Uber. The guy calls almost immediately. And he's like, where are you going to? And I was like, I hesitated because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that as an Uber driver because you can then discriminate who you pick up and then you can be like, no, and like get out after you pick them up. So I want to be like, you can't ask me that, but I also didn't want to be, again, the guy who takes pictures of the exploded body wash bottle and then emails customer support. Like I can't be that guy twice in a weekend. So I didn't call him out and I told him where I was going. He's like, okay. And part of me thought, yeah, he's just going to cancel on me now. Like he's just going to cancel me. And then snowball effect. Like everyone's going to call me and ask me and I'm going to tell them and then they're going to be canceling. And I'm going to be stuck in Hoboken forever. So, but no, he picked me up and took me home. And I immediately got out as I was waiting for the Uber, I looked down and the buttons to my button-down shirt are off by one. It took me a good half an hour of being outside in public in Hoboken to realize that my buttons were misaligned. Like not even, nope. You crooked, son. You crooked cop. So I had to, one by one, try and do it without showing off my newly shorn body, which I'm sure would have caused accidents out the ass. You forget how long a drive is when you're not the one driving and you're paying out the ass for it. That's when every minute goes by. You're like, oh my God, it feels like an hour. So got home, got out of my first date clothes, put on Eli Manning jersey and ordered Papa John's right away. $6 off, my man. Remember from the last episode? $6 off. So, got the veggie dream, whatever they call it, with white dream, white heaven, white garden. That's what it was. White pizza, no tomato sauce, all veggies, extra cheese. And then 2 orders of wings. And by the end of Sunday, I had polished off the wings. There's 12 of them, no big deal. And I'd eaten every slice except 2 of the pizza pie. I think I'm going to spread it out a little bit. It was like a little bit at 1, a little bit at the 4 o'clocks, a little bit before the Sunday night game. But yeah, I had to, dude. So goddamn hungry. Starving. So yeah, that was the first date experience. I don't even know how, what do you prefer? Would you rather have a first date that's like pretty standard where you don't go to a going away party and then don't go to bottle service? Or would you like one of the most memorable first dates probably I've ever had? Yeah. It was the first date with my wife, which was sparks and whatnot, and it was like, this is good. This is the best date I've ever been on. This is the most memorable first date I've ever had for show. So, and I got a second date on the books. Although if she hears this, she might be like, you know what? Oh, so sorry, but you're ugly. Yeah. So then couldn't do the pod Monday or Tuesday. Monday had like an epic marathon conversation with my mom, mostly about estate planning, because I'm trying to do like estate planning with my will and last will and testament, which we never did once we had Bree, which is crazy that we never did it. Because imagine like if something happened, and there were plenty of opportunities, trust me. It's tough to talk about like And then I also don't know where to end. I think that was the issue with me. It was like, okay, well, this is who I'd like to take care of things if I should pass. But what happens in this scenario? It was like, how far down the rabbit hole do we need to go on this one? Like, okay, say my sister predeceases me, dies before me, along with her husband, and then like if I'm taking, and then say my uncle twists his leg. Like I just didn't know how far the chain we had to go on this one. But she was like, I ended up having a Zoom call with her yesterday, and she's the lawyer. She was just like, no, just a first and a backup, dude. Like anything beyond that, it's like it's God's plan, and like I don't know, batten down the hatches because here comes the rapture. So that was it was interesting talking through that. And then my buddy called me after back to school night, which back to school night was pretty cool. I get there right on time. I go into this room and no seats left. It's packed and it fucking smells. I was just like, I don't know if I'm more concerned that because it was like the gym sort of gymboree type thing. Like there's a rock wall they can climb and whatnot. I was like, I don't know if I should be more concerned that's the level of stink these kids are bringing to the party, or if like there's a gaggle of parents, like a flock of parents in here that need to focus on body odor. The best part though was, they were delayed in getting started because it was a huge turnout because like obviously they didn't have it in 2020. Where like the parents come to the school and check everything out. Couldn't do it in 2020. It was like not as high turnout for 2021, I guess, because a lot of parents were still maybe concerned about COVID. I don't know. Which it's crazy that to go back to the first date at the nightclub, like that was a concern of my date. It was like, I definitely feel like I'm getting COVID. And I didn't even think about it. Like maybe it's because we're only 2 years into it. But you would think like it's funny how we can switch gears. I don't know what it was for me that I wasn't like anxious anymore. It's like even after once I got the first shot, I was like, all right, I don't feel as anxious anymore. And then I got the second shot and I was like, all right, feeling better. And then I got that booster and I was like, I'm invincible. And then people are like, no, you can still get it. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. And then I think my aunt got it recently on a cruise, dude. And so like day one of the cruise, she had to quarantine on the cruise. And it's like kind of cool because they bring food to you. But at the same time, you didn't get to fully experience the cruise. Imagine paying that much money and getting COVID and then not being able to enjoy the cruise. I mean, I have to admit this. I have to get this off my chest. I fucking hate cruises. I've only been on like one, I think, maybe two. One. We're supposed to go for my brother-in-law's 40th in end of November, early December. And it's like, I can't say no to that. Like, I still think I'm going to have a good time. It's just not, maybe cruises have changed in the past 20 years. I'm not really sure. But you just hear so many horror stories, especially in like the one cruise ship where it was like, they're stuck at sea because everyone has COVID. It's like, and it's flooding or something like that. It was something else that was also compounding the problem. I was like, oh my God, it should be a good time. But like getting COVID, like testing positive for COVID day one of a cruise, it's like, oh, whoa, that sucks. So I feel for her. But, my date was worried about getting COVID and I just didn't even cross my mind. And then anytime I like had a little like something in my throat and I had to like clear my throat, I'm like, oh my God. Is it happening? Did it finally happen? Even though it's probably has happened. I just didn't have the wherewithal to get tested. I was like, wow, this, I remember Limburger cheese being a little more potent than this. Anyway, Limburger, is that even the word? What's the stinky cheese? I don't even fucking know. So yeah, and then here we are.